Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. My name is Lisema Matsietsi. Thank you for coming here once again. This week we're talking about automation as a cure for the most boring task. It's something else that you definitely will face as an analyst, and then we can just talk about ways to automate it. Stay tuned. Everybody else thinks that because you're an analyst, you are the source for everything. But what happens is you might be the intermediary person where you get stuff that were sent by the data team, and then what you have to do is a few steps to clean up. It might happen that the data that you get still needs to be cleansed. So for you to do data cleansing could be exciting the first time to find out what might go wrong with this data. But sooner or later, a few months down the line, you start to be bored because it's a boring task. Every time they send you data, that's just the dump from one system. Maybe system A is just downloading stuff as CSV, and then you're pushing it the other side into maybe Excel. Let's say you're analyzing in Excel or even Power BI or Tableau. But before you do that, there are a few steps that you need to do, and these steps could vary between number one, summarizing of data. So for instance, they give you data on a daily basis, but all you need to do is just to group it together and then do it per month or per year. It's all up to you. So the first thing might be understanding what the ask is and going back and summarizing the data. After summarizing the data might be another thing where you take out the duplicates. It might happen that there might be duplicate entries. Look at the different formats on the same column or the same data field. There might be both numbers and words, so you get a feel of where should you group the numbers, where should you group the words. All of that, I'm just looking at just one aspect of data or cleaning data. After a while, you start to feel a little bit bored, and with that there might be tools that you can use for you to record your steps. The easier one that I think everybody knows about, but we hardly ever use, well, I hardly ever use, is VBA, or what they call Excel macros. So in Excel you can go and then you can record your steps, and then every month you can just press the step button, and then everything else that you did will be redone every time on new data. So for instance, you get a new file, it's raw data, you can go there and then take out, filter, group, make a pivot, and then send it out. You record all those steps, and the next month when they send you the same data, you just put it on the same Excel workbook, you press the button, and then the steps run accordingly. The second one is if you go into Power Query, you can be able to do the same steps, but unlike VBA, where the only way for you to tamper with your steps is to go into Visual Basic Language and then see code itself, Power Query has summarized it that every step is grouped together. So for instance, if you take out duplicates, you will see a step that says remove duplicates. If you change the format, another step will come in to say change format, which is quite nice. And then once you are out of Power Query, you can use the same automation as you would do in Power BI. Will have more or less the same steps where you can look at it and automate. And that's where all of that time that you used to spend, saving is you spend 2 to 3 hours cleaning up the data, making sure that the data is aligned and is perfect. You could just do all of that thing with a touch of a button. I know with Power Query, and in fact even with Power BI, once those steps are there, it takes few seconds to go through all of that with your data. But all of that is dependent on how big your data is. Sometimes when you have millions of records like I used to have, you might wait for an hour or two for the whole data to refresh. But once you have set up your steps to say I want the program to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you are almost fine. So that could be a cure for the most boring task in your analysis step. I've never met somebody else that says, yeah, I'll do the data cleansing for you, give it to me. But everybody knows that you have to do that. So once you know how to do your steps, also explore, how do I record my steps so that at the end of the day I'm able to repeat this thing with less effort every month on month. After a few months, after a year or maybe 2 years, your process will run so quickly. You would be able to do what 7 people could do alone. You'll be able to do it. But there's other type of analysis where I am now, where you do most of qualitative analysis. For that, it becomes quite difficult to automate steps, like making a pack or PowerPoint presentation. You can have a structure, and then every time you just fill in the amounts. But every time if you are being asked a new PowerPoint slide from the same data, you're gonna have to keep on working. With qualitative, even if you are being asked a new visual or something like that, the first initial step can be automated. The only thing else that you have to do is just to make your copy of and then work on the copy. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let's watch the next video where we're going to be talking about interviewing and the tools that will help you during your interview session. Thanks.